All right. Wanted to get a quick stream on right quick, see how much time I got. So I wanted to get some boxing in, get some boxing talk in. So we gonna talk about Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, talk Bud, talk Errol Spence, you know, just talk a lot of different things, for however long I can go. Basically, I'm out of town anyway, so no, not working anyway. I'm out of town on a couple of days, so in the East Coast. Um, let me start with Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Boy, when I tell you this dude got to have like the worst luck I ever seen in my life, it just to the point you just be like, man, is you kidding me? It's just like, is you kidding me? What's up? So basically, his upcoming fight with basically a nobody. But then again, it could be a blessing in disguise. What's going on? It could be a blessing in disguise. Like I said, well, now Demetrius Andrade don't have a opponent. He was scheduled to fight on, if I'm not mistaken, on the Jacobs undercard, and seemed like Dusty caught the Rona. So the fight is off. And like I said, this dude got the worst luck I ever seen for a fight. I just never seen anything. Man, it's 32 years old, I think. And once again, he just do not have a credible name to his resume, and it's just sad. Like I said, as talented as this dude is, he just can't get the big fights. I don't know what's going on with him, but shit just seem to always go. When he trying to go right, it seemed to go left. When he trying to go, left, it always goes right. That's what I mean by he can't get right. So, you know, um, I don't know what he can do. For whatever reason, like I said, he can't get the big fights. Um, Canelo won't fight him. And I'm gonna just tell you right now, Canelo, from what I heard, Canelo is done at 160. So basically, if you want to fight Canelo, it's gonna have to be at 168. So I heard he's done. I heard he's done at 160. I heard he can't make the weight anymore. So basically, he's not gonna be fighting at 160 anymore. So that's pretty much all she wrote. Demetrius Andrade, I hate to say this, and I don't know. I don't want to say this. One thing I can say about Demetrius Andrade, he people ain't looking forward to getting in the ring with him. Like Canelo didn't want the smoke. Man, we got to do. Demetrius Andrade. He a victim of having a bad team um, outside of boxing, bad promotion. Like I said, he just can't get the big fights. And like I say, his career is wasting away. I'm telling y'all, in like 10, 15 years from now, this is gonna be the conversation we gonna have. We gonna say he was a good boxer, but he never got the opportunity to become a great fighter boxer because he just couldn't get the names. Nah, I ain't worried. I'm gonna speak on that Bud thing because I'm sick of this bullshit, these double standards. Cause I'm finna speak on this Bud shit, and I'm finna like either the Errol Spence apologists and the nut huggers and the PBC nut huggers. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Bud only doing and only saying what happened. He only replying to what happened to him because I need to debunk this whole Errol Spence myth that this man didn't just fought world beaters because that ain't even remotely true. And at the end of the day, the truth just gonna be told. I ain't worried about no backlash. I ain't worried about nobody being mad at me because like I said, this channel called Town Business Sports and Media. I work for myself. And like I said, I don't give a damn about nobody having a problem with what I say because, like I said, it's just too much Errol Spence dick riding, and it's just a lot of hypocrisy that go on with Errol Spence on just many different things, and it just got to be said. And I guess I'm gonna have to be the dude that say it, but I'm gonna get to the Errol Spence thing in a minute. I'm just gonna get to that in a minute because, like I said, it's just time to say this shit. But As far as Demetrius Andrade go, I just like I said, I feel sorry for homeboy because it's I don't know what to do. I wish I could sign him for real. I wish I if if I had a few $1 million to spare, I would buy him out of his contract with Matchroom and DAZN. And DAZN should just let him go. What I don't understand, they doing what these record labels do. They doing what a classic trick of what record labels do. Like a lot of times with these record labels, I said this before, record labels don't be out sometimes to find the best talent out there. Sometimes they may have an artist that they'd rather push more than another artist. And it's not that this artist that they trying to push is better than the other one. He more fits the mold of what they looking for, what they trying to put out. So what they'll do is they may sign a dude that's a threat to them and they'll just shelf him. Jay-Z is known for doing that. Jay-Z is known. Look, okay, I'll give you an example. All those artists that Jay-Z signed pretty much with Rockefeller pretty much flopped. Jay-Z didn't like anybody that he thought was a threat to him. Because to be honest with you, Benny Siegel was a way better rapper than Jay-Z. But, Jay-Z wouldn't put the, money behind him like he would spend on himself. He wouldn't give Benny Siegel the budget that he would take for himself. And like I said, Jay-Z saw what time it was with him when he signed that god awful uh rapper Lady Soberine. That lady was god awful. But that's what Jay-Z do. Look how long he had Jay Electronica sitting like basically waiting to put his album out. And then when finally Jay Electronica put an album out, it was god awful. I'm talking about that album was hard. That Jay Electronica album was terrible. It was terrible. And and then you had people trying to once again protect Jay-Z, and then at the same time trying to cape for Jay Electronica and say, nah man, what you don't understand, the album is just too deep. It's just so deep to where some people might not understand it. It's just going through. No, nah, it was just too garbage. That's what it was. It was just too garbage. It was whack. It was whack. It was whack. So it's called trying to suppress. So that's what's going on with Demetrius Andrade. He can't get fights, but then at the end of the day, nobody won't fight him. He not. I guess they feel like he not desirable. You know what I'm saying? Where you got Canelo and all them type of people in Triple G. Canelo could have been fought Demetrius Andrade. He just didn't want to. Bad style matchup. Triple G, same thing. They just didn't want it. But that's what's going on with Demetrius Andrade. And it just need to be said. That's what's going on. And that's what these record labels do. They play these kind of games. And that's the same thing that's going on in boxing. But like I said, I'm gonna get to the Errol Spence because like I said, this is because it gotta be said. It gotta be said. But trust me, I'm gonna get to that. But that's what's going on with the guys like Demetrius Andrade. He pretty much getting shelled. He not gonna get the good marquee fights. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a threat. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is supposed to be a sport, but then they treat it like they use that shit. Boxing is a business. It's supposed to be a combat sport. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just ain't gonna get the best fighters fighting the best. You know, so it sucks. Really does. Now, um, now once again we have another incident with boxers. Once again, I'm finna expose the commission. Then I'm gonna get the Errol Spence, and then I'm gonna get the Bud. Once again, you have another fight where you had another fighter that got caught pretty much with altered gloves. We'll just say altered, and then once again, the commission catch it. I need to dispel something something about the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury situation because, like I said, I believe in my heart of hearts Tyson Fury cheated, and I stand by that. I'll tell Tyson Fury right to his white face. I'll tell him right to his white face that I believe he cheated. Everybody keep talking about, well, it's impossible for Tyson Fury to cheat. No, it ain't. Like I said, if that's the case, then how come Margarito got away with doing what he was doing? Like I keep saying, keep in mind the fighters that got caught cheating didn't get caught in most cases by the commission. They got caught by either either trainers of other people or allegedly the fighters themselves. How long was Margarito doing that shit? For real. How many commissions did he get past? See, here's the thing. It ain't always about it ain't always about it ain't always about the hand wraps. Jay Diaz was watching Tyson Fury get his hands wrapped, but I bet you he didn't check them gloves. Them gloves already had been altered. He probably didn't look at the gloves. See, that's the cap. And that's why Tyson Fury been acting the way he been acting. Cause he know if he flat out say on camera, on record that he didn't cheat, and it turns out that he cheated, like I said, I'm telling you, Tyson Fury gonna be in trouble beyond trouble. So that's why he just saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna fight you," and all this type of shit. We know what's up. We know what's up. We know what's up. So I guarantee you, JD is didn't check the gloves, and everybody talking about Mark Breland. Like I said, I trust Deontay's judgment. I trust his word. If he feel like Mark Breland was in on it, and once again, when Mark Breland responded, he didn't really respond. Why don't somebody just flat out say I didn't do it? Why won't Tyson Fury flat out say he didn't do it? Why don't he just flat out say he didn't do it? Because you know why? Because, like I said, if he goes on one media outlet and says, "Oh, I didn't do it," and then it turns out that he did do it, like I said, Tyson Fury is going to be in deep trouble. So basically, what he's doing is he's putting himself in a position. So just in case they get enough proof, I believe, like I said, so everybody is lying on Deontay Wilder. I mean, everybody lying on Tyson Fury with his shady history. Now, keep in mind, this story is starting to get picked up because Fox Sports put an article talking about this. And it's just a matter of time before major media outlets is going to start to pick this up and going into it because they can't deny it. Now that you had another fighter get caught with tampered gloves, now people gonna say, well, maybe Deontay Wilder's on to something. See, these scary ass other media, the ones that's worried about losing a press credentials, see, they ain't really gonna go that route. They just gonna say Deontay Wilder's is need to take his loss like a man and all that kind of stuff, and that's cool. But if I'm Deontay Wilder, anybody that say that towards me, when they ask me for an interview, they ain't gonna get no interview. Okay, since you saying I'm delusional, then don't ask me for no interview. Now, if you want to say I'm not taking sides, I want to hear, if you want to be politically correct and say, okay, well, I'm not taking sides, that's cool. Whatever Deontay Wilder think is whatever Deontay Wilder think. If whatever Tyson Fury thinks, that's what Tyson Fury thinks. But if you go that route and say, hey, Deontay Wilder is delusional and he needs to accept his loss like a man, yeah, don't come asking me for no interview because you basically saying that I'm a liar and you basically saying that I'm out of my mind. But like I said, that's what you call a nigga trick. It's called a nigga trick because that's what they do to black people. They've been doing that for years. They try to dumb down everything we do from police brutality. They make it say, "Oh, it's a figment of your imagination. It's not happening." They trying to dumb down slavery. Oh, it wasn't as bad as they say. They portray on the movies and all that stuff. They've been doing that to black people for years. You get mistreated on the job. Nah, it's not just you. It's not you. Yeah, what you see is not really what's going on, and it's right before your eyes. That's basically what they be trying to do. They been doing this crap. I call it the nigga trick. They only do that to black people. Once again, and particularly when it comes to black men, they don't never want you to voice your opinion. They always think you have to be quiet and just take whatever verbal and physical abuse to a certain degree that's dished out. You're not ever supposed to say nothing. If you say something, you too sensitive. You like I say, when people come at me like that, I just look at them like they crazy and I don't even pay attention to them. So at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder gonna have his just due. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm really gonna keep it 100. Since you know, since Tyson Fury, to me, he tried to take out Deontay Wilder. Well, at the same time, I hope Deontay Wilder take Tyson Fury out, if you catch my drift. Because Deontay Wilder's doctor said if he would have got hit like that a couple of more times, then I don't know. They saying he might not be here. So if Deontay Wilder get him in the ring for the third time and Tyson Fury gonna be under heavy scrutiny, well, you know what I'm saying. I hope Deontay Wilder do to him, and I'm not gonna lose one night's sleep over it. I'm gonna celebrate, and I'm just keeping it. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm gonna celebrate on some. I'm gonna celebrate on some real shit. I'm not even going. I'm not even gonna care. I'm not even. I'm serious, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. G. When I say I'm gonna celebrate, I'm gonna say Tyson Fury tried to take Deontay Wilder out. He didn't care about Deontay Wilder's kids, so why should Deontay Wilder care about him? He went beyond trying to win a fight. He tried to take that man out the game permanently. It's too much. It's just too much evidence to say that Tyson Fury, you know what I'm saying, fought a fair fight. We know he didn't. So, like I said, if Deontay Wilder, if Deontay Wilder toe tag his ass, like I said, I'm not gonna lose a moment's sleep. So, all right. With that being said, let me talk about another name whose name is just ringing in the boxing streets. Okay, that's one Manny Pacquiao. You are hearing Manny Pacquiao linked to several different fights. And I give Manny Pacquiao credit. He's a genius. Manny Pacquiao has been attached to Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has came out and said, hey, I got a Manny Pacquiao fight coming up sometime 2021. Then you hearing that him and Mikey Garcia is getting finalized, and that's the fight that Manny Pacquiao is going to take. Then you hearing the Errol Spence, and then of course you hearing Bud saying, "Hey, the fight could happen without Bob Arum." Now I'm gonna get the Bud and I'm gonna get the Bud and his relationship with Bob Arum. You know, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But like I said, now Manny Pacquiao, I give Manny Pacquiao credit. Manny Pacquiao, like I said, as far as the Bud and as far as the Bud and Errol Spence fight, Manny could possibly be the key. I can all but guarantee you. I can all but guarantee you, if Manny Pacquiao fights Bud and Bud wins that second belt, I guarantee you that you really ain't gonna get. You really not gonna probably get Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. I just really in my heart believe that they, that fight not gonna happen. I just feel that Al Heyman just don't want to make that fight because at the end of the day, um, Al Heyman got to make Errol Spence a pay-per-view star. He want to make him the next Floyd Mayweather, and he feel like the only way he could sell Errol Spence as a pay-per-view fight is to basically put him in the ring with name opponents, credible opponents, but people in all likelihood that he feel that he can beat. I think he don't want to do a second fight with Sean Porter because that fight was too close. But I'm gonna tell you right now, since Errol Spence is capping and acting like he Floyd Mayweather. The pressure on him now is for him to knock out Danny Garcia. And that's the whole plan. Like I said, I'm not worried about like the Errol Spence nut huggers that come on here talking like this man then beat like world beaters, like, and then he tried to shit on Bud's resume. Because like I said, I'm just keeping it 100. Errol Spence Errol Spence didn't stop Sean Porter, and he didn't stop Mikey Garcia, a fight that he should have stopped Mikey Garcia in. We can holler about, well, he was just trying to show his boxing skills. Well, opinions vary. But like I said, 5 fights at welterweight for Bud. Let's see. Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn was bigger. Oh, he was gonna give Bud fits. He might be too big. But like I said, Jeff Horn was a credible opponent for Errol Spence down the line, a potential opponent. He was gonna give Bud fits. Bud stopped him. Jose Benavides. Bud stopped him. Okay. Stopped him. Fought Amir Khan. Stopped him. Fought the Mean Machine. Gold medalist. But they tried to downplay that. But I guarantee you, if a PBC fighter had fought him, they would have said that was an awesome victory. Because like I said, just because niggas get on here and say that they with this dude and they fuck with that dude, don't mean that I'll fuck with them. And I'm just keeping it 100. So he stopped him. That's 4. Stopped the Mean Machine. He got dropped. Hey, that was a knockdown. But he got up and whooped his ass. Kell Brook. Blew through Kell Brook in 4 rounds. The man that stopped everybody. He didn't fought since he came up to 147. You don't mean to tell me that ain't no threat to the people on the opposite side. People could sit up there and bark and holler that they want the man and they want to fight the man. But at the end of the day, they could have sent him the same way they talk to Al Heyman. Al Heyman could have sent Bud a contract. The Bud is a serious threat to Errol Spence. And I'm going on record to saying that. I'm gonna go on record and say he is a serious threat to Errol Spence. He can mess up everything. And you got to ask yourself, if you Al Heyman, why would you put him in the ring with Bud? Like I said, y'all just don't want to hear the truth because you think I'm supposed to follow the script of other people. I don't roll like that. I say what I need to say, and I say what I feel is the truth. He is a serious threat. Like I said, he could cause, like I said, and then he ain't signed to the PBC. Do you know how many millions of dollars he could cost the PBC? Now, do I like how Bud moving with the Bob Arum thing? Do I like that? Absolutely not. But when I get back home, I got an interview coming up. I'm gonna let this person announce and tell y'all what's going on. But I gotta it's something. I'll put it to you this way. People starting to get it and people starting to listen. I want y'all to understand something. These people. Oh yeah, I'm cooking. I'm cooking. Cause I'm sick of this bullshit now. And I'm sick of these lying ass content creators just constantly lying to the people. But let me tell y'all something. I got a special announcement coming up. Well, I'm gonna let this person announce what's going on. I got a special interview set up. I just want y'all to know y'all doing the groundwork. When y'all listen to me, they listening to y'all. They hearing these videos, man. They listening to y'all. Do not be fooled by the fact that I only got like 8,000 subs. Well, I really got 9. They just saying, do not be fooled. People listen to me. People listening to me. I don't need 60,000 subs to get my point across. Because trust me, people listen to me. Floyd listens to my channel. Ben Thompson of Fight Hype, he listens to me. All them people listen to me. They know who the fuck I am. But I don't have to get on every video and brag about that. They know who I am. And they're listening. what I've been calling these media outlets on, because I'm the only one that had the guts to tell the truth. Because I ain't, like I said, I could call Errol Spence out on a lot of his hypocrisy, and the people that support Errol Spence. I could call Errol Spence out on his hypocrisy for real. You like I said again, you try to talk all that black shit when it's convenient. You try to talk all that black shit when it's convenient to try to fool people, but at the end of the day, you working with Jerry Jones. You fighting in a stadium of one of the biggest white supremacists in all the sports. Jerry Jones is a flat out white supremacist. But you notice none of these niggas had the guts to call Jerry Jones out on that. But every time you look around, they calling Bud a coon. They calling him all type of names. Well, I can say this much. Guess what, y'all? Guess what, y'all? Bud is having his sixth child with the same woman. And here's something that's really gonna strike a nerve to certain people that's gonna listen to this. And she's black. And like I keep saying, niggas mad at me because I don't be sitting up here sucking up to Al Heyman and giving him a pass. Cause like I said, Al Heyman could be putting Tank in the ring with Gary Russell Jr. Why won't nobody call Al Heyman? Why am I the only one calling Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather out for, even though I didn't like what Gary Russell Jr. did with Devin Haney? Why am I the only one calling Floyd and Al Heyman out for not giving Gary Russell Jr. a payday, letting him and Tank fight? Why am I the only one? Ask. Thank you, Pratt. I appreciate you being here. You a good dude. Why am I the only one that's calling Al Heyman out? But you, like I said, you got all these so-called hoe tip niggas, pro-black niggas that won't call Al Heyman out for not giving Gary Russell Jr. a payday, or Floyd not making that fight. Gary Russell Jr. should be fighting Tank. I didn't even spoke to Mexicans about this shit. They even tired of seeing this black and brown shit. They want to see some blacks fight some blacks, and they want to see Mexican fight Mexicans. That shit that Canelo said about he'll never fight another Mexican. Well, you ain't fighting no good black fighters neither. For real. That was weak. Floyd trying to do the same thing with Tank that he did, where Floyd didn't want to give no brothers a payday, even though I believe Floyd would have beat probably, if not all of those dudes, most of those dudes. But all Floyd did is sat up there and make Mexicans rich, and then lie on the black community and say the black community wasn't buying his fights. Oakland is a boxing city. We love boxing in Oakland. We buy fights. So Floyd told a flat out lie. Like I said, I'm the only one that then called Floyd and Al Heyman out. I want y'all to understand something, which I don't give a shit. I'm on PBC's ban list. They will never let me cover a fight. And the same thing with Top Rank, but I don't care. Exactly, Pratt. Canelo handicapped. I'm glad you see it, and I appreciate you, Pratt, because Canelo need to be called out. He handicapped everybody in his fights. This man fought James Kirkland and put in the contract that he couldn't have Ann Wolf train him. What kind of shit is that? Who does that? This man put in the contract that James Kirkland can't have Ann Wolf in his corner. Oh, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Trust me, I'm gonna cover all that. Just be patient. I'm gonna get to that. Canelo been doing that. He weight pimps you, he rehydrate pimps you. Then all of a sudden he puts you in positions where you can't win the fight. Then, like I said, you go into a fight with Canelo, you already down 4 rounds by the time the bell rang. And he ran from Caleb Plant because he knew he was gonna be in a real damn fight. He knew that he was gonna be in a real damn fight with Caleb Plant. Like I said, anybody that's listening to this podcast, that's listening to this stream, whether they listen to the live stream or whether they gonna listen later. Like I said, I don't be worried about no Mexicans being mad because I'm talking about Canelo. Like I give a damn about that. Do you say anything when I eat the black fighters? No. I said everybody gonna get it. Like I said before, Canelo know he gonna be in a real fight with Caleb Plant. So he knew he wasn't gonna be able to handicap Caleb Plant like he do. Like I said, who in the hell puts in the contract that you can't have a certain trainer? He put that in the contract that James Kirkland couldn't have Ann Wolf as his trainer. Who does that? Then the man been caught. The man been caught, you know, eating that mystery meat. He didn't got a complete pass. WBC then gave him a complete pass. Mauricio Solobon's fake ass then gave him a complete pass. But then but then they had the audacity to accuse Tank of doing something dirty with his gloves. And Tyson Fury, man, is you serious? Is you serious? But then they try to make it look like something like Deontay Wilder is delusional, man. If you don't get out of here. And I mean, Canelo been doing this stuff. Canelo is a good fighter, but then Canelo be trying to pimp people too much. He always try to have an advantage, and he get away with that. Yeah, Mike. Like I said, man, when you fight Canelo, you automatically down. Like I say, like I know why Manny Pacquiao didn't want to fight Canelo, because they would have tried to do the same thing to Manny Pacquiao. So I don't blame Manny Pacquiao for saying no, because they would have Manny Pacquiao, if he would have fought Canelo, he would have been down. They would have shit. As soon as the bell rung, Manny Pacquiao would have been down like 5 rounds. Well, hey Pratt, I appreciate you calling it how it is, bro. That Sergey Kovalov fight was clearly fixed. Like I said, who has Canelo knocked out? Who is Canelo knocked out for real? All of a sudden he go up to 175 and he can knock out Sergey Kovalov. And in the way that Sergey Kovalov fell against the ring was hella fake. Like I said, the highlight of my career, I mean, the highlight was watching Floyd beat the hell out of Canelo. I mean, Floyd beat the hell out of Canelo, and a lot of people don't know Canelo's corner considered stopping that fight. Canelo was getting humiliated so much. Like I said before, it's a good thing Manny Pacquiao didn't fight him. Yeah, Kovalov said, yeah, Kovalov all but admitted that the fight was rigged. He said he did it for the money. He said he was in a no-win situation. Like I said before, he couldn't knock out Miguel Cotto. He couldn't knock out Sugar Shane Mosley. He couldn't knock out Daniel Jacobs. I mean, do I need to keep going for real? I'm just saying anybody could like stop Amir Khan, but I'm just keeping it 100. He couldn't knock out none of those dudes, man. Now all of a sudden this dude he could knock out Triple G in 2 fights. Now all of a sudden this dude go up to 175 and he can knock out Sergey Kovalov. And then Sergey Kovalov was beating Canelo's ass throughout the fight. Canelo couldn't even withstand Canelo couldn't withstand Sergey Kovalov jab. He couldn't get around Sergey Kovalov jab. And when Sergey Kovalov hit Canelo, Canelo looked like he damn near crumbled. That's when I knew that fight was fixed. Everybody knew that fight was fixed. Everybody, everybody that saw that fight, even boxers said that the fight, you had boxers say that fight was fixed. I'm just keeping it 100. You had Badu Jack, he flat out said that fight was fixed. And then he sells us the notion that he really finna fight Caleb Plant, which I knew Caleb Plant would beat Canelo's ass. But and he turned around, he talked all this shit about the zone, how the zone, they didn't want to pay him and all this type of shit. He in his contract with Golden Boy and he's supposed to be a free agent and he take his ass right back to the zone and fight and fight Caleb Smith. Who does that? Who does that? That's like you getting, I'm for real, man. You say, man, I went off of Def Jam Records, man. They gave me a bad contract. I went off of Def Jam Records, man, so I can go sign with Warner Brothers. And then you turn back around and come right back to Def Jam. And you sign oh, well, I'm gonna do an album by album basis, but you just complained about how they was ripping you off and all that type of shit. Who does that? Who does that? And who does that? Can somebody be honest? Who does that? I'm just asking you, who does that? That don't make no kind of sense. I'm not getting the type of money they're not making the fights that I want to make. I want off of the zone. I want out of Golden Boy. I'm not fucking with the zone. Then you turn right back around and come to the zone. So Canelo showed you what a fraud he is. He showed you what a fraud he is. I'm just keeping it 100. This just got to be said. He showed you. I mean, for real, Canelo couldn't even knock out Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. But he could knock out Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And he hit Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in his face throughout the fight. Now keep in mind, Julio Cesar Chavez got stopped by from Flora, who was pretty much moved up to light heavyweight. And keep in mind, he fought him at light heavyweight, if I'm not mistaken, from Flora. He got stopped by him. But Canelo went up to light heavyweight and he could stop Sergey Kovalev, but he couldn't stop Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, you guys got to do the math. I know people gonna listen to this video and thumb it down, but I challenge you to try to say that I'm lying. He couldn't even stop Julio Cesar Chavez. And I believe that fight was fixed. Yeah, Eddie. I mean, if Eddie Hearn did that, that's what he did. But still, it don't take away from the fact that Canelo's fake ass never had no intentions on leaving the zone. He just probably wanted to go to Matchroom. And now all that's gonna happen is they're gonna line Canelo up with a bunch of bums. One thing you gotta understand when you fight Canelo, like I said, he handicap you and he puts you in a position where you can't win the damn fight. You can't get a fair fight against him. Man, who in the hell wanted to see a Floyd versus Canelo rematch? Keep in mind, Canelo's corner considered stopping that fight. Floyd almost had a knockout of Canelo. His corners saw him getting his ass beat so bad that they considered stopping that fight, and people know that. He could have, if Floyd should have went for the knockout because he could have stopped Canelo, which I know Canelo can be knocked out. Because but like I said, if Sergey Kovalev would have been allowed to fight, he would have knocked Canelo out. And then as soon as they even mentioned the thought of Canelo fighting Artur Beterbiev, well, let me give up this belt. Because let me tell you something, Canelo would have fought Artur Beterbiev, Canelo would have got his head knocked into the stands. When I say Artur Beterbiev would have it wouldn't have mattered. Well, appreciate that. It wouldn't have mattered if Beterbiev would have been down on the cards because that fight wouldn't have went the distance. Artur Beterbiev would have stopped Canelo within 5 rounds. When I say he would have slept Canelo, when I say Artur Beterbiev would have slept Canelo, he would have slept Canelo. Like Andre Ward told me, he said he not stupid. He know damn well not to get in the ring with Artur Beterbiev. But at the end of the day, you got that other punk. You got that other punk Bibble trying to age Beterbiev out. Wait until he get old so he can fight him. And Artur Beterbiev, he is sleep. I say Artur Beterbiev the best. He is clearly the best light heavyweight. But it's cool. It's cool. Like I said, Dimitri Bivol a straight punk. He is straight punk. He a puss. He been ducking Artur Beterbiev for the last 2 years. He just trying to age him out. And like I said, Canelo ducked him too. Canelo knew better than to sign that contract. Canelo would have got killed. Canelo would have got, like I said, Arthur Beterbiev would have put Canelo in a coma. And he knew not to try to make that fight. As soon as they said, well, you might have to see Arthur Beterbiev, he quickly, well, let me give up this belt. Nah, I don't bring hey, Pratt is cool and Oakland, man. You know I ride with you because we real town, we square biz, you know. Oakland niggas keep it real. Like that's on some real shit. I'm just telling the truth. Canelo would have got decapitated. He would have got decapitated. Yeah, and I hope his and even his some of his remedial fans know he had no chance against Arthur Better. I seen Arthur Beterbiev fight in person. When I seen what he did to Buslik, I seen that. He made that man retired. He made that man say, I don't even want to fight no more. That was his first loss. He said, I ain't fight no more. He made that man let me tell you something. When I seen him fight Hot Rod in Stockton, I covered that fight. It looked like he was gonna literally kill Hot Rod. Hot Rod was staggering. He was shaking going to his corner. I was like, they better stop this fight. They better stop this fight. Like I said, Canelo knew better. Canelo knew better than the fight. Like I said, Arthur Beterbiev would have. Like I said, he would have flatlined Canelo. Canelo would have been in a coma just like Pritchard Cologne. And they would have been calling. And they would have been calling for. They would have been calling for. Arthur Beterbiev not to be able to fight anymore. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100. Like I said, on my channel, you get the truth. You get the truth. Now, let's get back. Let's get back to Errol Spence. Like I said, I'm not no Errol Spence and PBC apologist. Like I said, I'm the only ones that had the guts to call them out. Like I said, Errol Spence supposed to be so pro-black. Oh, okay, yeah, you spoke on the Gucci thing. That was cool. But how come you ain't spoke on Al Heyman not putting no brothers on your card? You ain't got no brothers on your. You don't have hardly no brothers on your fight card. You didn't have. Did you have? Did it? Did Errol Spence have any blacks fighting on his card with Sean Porter? Because I went to that fight. I don't remember having no. I don't remember having any black fighters on that card, at least on the pay per view. No, he didn't have any brothers on the pay per view card. I think on the undercard before the telecast started, it might have been some brothers. But yeah, once again, why don't Errol Spence ever have any brothers fighting on his cards? But he supposed to be down for the cause. But everybody keep their mouth shut. Everybody keep their mouth shut. You don't see certain niggas talking about that type of shit. They keep their mouth shut, but they quick to try to call. They quick to have. They always got something to say about Bud though, but they don't call Errol Spence out. Why didn't Errol Spence said, hey, Al, man, I think you should have more black fighters fighting on your card. I think you should put some brothers, give them a chance to fight. Now, it don't have to be, you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be, keep in mind, it don't have to be the soul food, card, even though it could be. Because like I said, how come he ain't said nothing about that? But remember, he supposed to be so down. He supposed to be so down. Like I said, I ain't one of these niggas that be sucking up to Al Heyman. These other niggas that got their channels, they could do that, but that ain't me. And like I said, I know to a certain degree, certain people get mad at me because I don't follow that script, and I'm not ever going to follow that script. I'm going to always say what I want to say. But it got to be said, and some of these niggas need to be called out on their hypocrisy. You always got something to say about Bud, and you question Bud's blackness, but then, like I said, Errol Spence working with the biggest white supremacists in sports. You fighting in the stadium of the biggest white supremacist in sports. Jerry Jones is a flat out white supremacist, racist cracker. Exactly. But nobody won't call PBC. I'm the only one that has called Al Heyman out. That's called Bob Arum out. I didn't call Eddie Hearn out. I didn't call all of them out. But like I said, people want to tuck. But like I said, people want to tuck their tail. But everybody supposed to give Al Heyman a pass though for putting nothing but Mexicans on Errol Spence's undercards. But I could take it even a step further. But I'm not gonna say that. I could take it a step further with Errol Spence. But somebody else mentioned it. I don't want to get too personal with Errol Spence, but like I said, I'm just calling him out on his blatant hypocrisy and calling Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather out on their blatant hypocrisy, and calling some of these YouTube channels out on their blatant hypocrisy, on a on a sometimey pro-blackness. You know who these niggas is. You know who these niggas is. And like I said, Errol Spence talking about 60-40. Let me ask you something. Who is Danny Garcia? What significant win Danny Garcia got at 147? Let's just keep it 100. Danny Garcia did his best work to me at 140. So how is he a trump card to where you can ask somebody, and this is what I'm saying, Errol Spence, he better knock Danny Garcia out. Because if he don't finish Danny Garcia and Danny Garcia go the distance, like I said, Errol Spence is putting pressure on himself. You talking about you on 60-40, well, you need to knock Danny Garcia out. Because if you did, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if this fight go the distance, this gonna be the third fight in a row that Errol Spence ain't had a KO. Like I said, Bud then stopped everybody. Bud then stopped everybody at 147. Ain't nobody went the distance with this man. Nobody. Keep in mind, Bud stopped the dude that beat Sean Porter. And out of Sean Porter's losses, I may say Kell Brook might have had the most decisive victory over Sean, because Errol Spence barely beat Sean Porter. Keep in mind, he was supposed to be man down, and I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100. So I'm going to that fight. So if Danny Garcia go the distance, then like I said, it's gonna be the third. But you know, niggas gonna make excuses. They gonna say Danny Garcia was just a tough fighter. But if Bud knocked Danny Garcia out, they gonna say somehow, some way, they gonna say Errol Spence softened them up. Like I said, them dudes on the other side, the reason why they talk that other side of the street, they see what a threat Bud is to them. They know Bud is the truth. That man got like some ridiculous ass reach. 60-40. For real. Danny Garcia got 2 losses already. Who is Danny Garcia beat at 140? What? Off and on retired Robert Guerrero. Anybody can knock out Paulie Malignaggi. A lot of people thought Danny Garcia lost to Herrera. A lot of people thought that Peterson beat him. And then he ducked. And then he ducked my homeboy Kareem Mayfield. So like I said, let's just dispel that rumor. So let's just dispel that rumor for real. And before that, Mikey Garcia, that was his first fight at 147. For real. And then Ocampo, he was nobody. Lamont Peterson already had been knocked out by Lucas Matisse, and he got the shit beat out of him by Tim Bradley. So how is that making you some kind of pay-per-view star when you need to stack your pay-per-view cards with Mexicans, thinking that Mexicans is going to buy your fight because they really want to see your people, or come to your fights because they want to see their people fight? See, I'm debunking the whole little code. Yeah, people get mad at me hearing this, but I'm just saying this. This is what these other niggas won't talk about on their channel. See, I'm dispelling that shit. So you ain't really done you really ain't done that much at 147 to be talking about 60-40. And the only reason why Bud, let's get to Bud. Let's flip it over to Bud. The reason why Bud says 60-40, he doing the same thing Errol Spence doing, which is negotiating through the media. And we all know you don't negotiate through the media. We already had that debacle happen with Gary Russell Jr. and Devin Haney, which gave all of us a bad taste in our mouth. It was a debacle. The fight didn't happen. All you had was a bunch of finger pointing, and well, it was this dude's fault. It was a debacle. That's why you don't try to negotiate through the media. Bud just standing firm on his circle. Do I like the idea of how he being treated by Bob Aaron? Absolutely not. I think Bob I think Bob Aaron might be in the early stages of dementia. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know if y'all didn't seen this, but Todd DeBuff, Bob Aaron's stepson, I think was on Max on Boxing. Let me just show you how ass backwards Top Rank is. Let me show you how ass backwards Top Rank is, and they prove my point by they just don't know how to promote black fighters. They asked Todd DeBuff, what's the biggest fight? And Max tried to help him too. They asked Todd DeBuff, what's the biggest fight that can be made that they want to make? And they gonna say Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Man, is you serious? But Todd DeBuff, he don't know what the hell he doing anyway. He don't Todd DeBuff, and I know, and Todd, if you listening, Todd, if you listening, or somebody send you this video at the 51-minute mark, you don't know what the fuck you doing. You don't know what the fuck you doing, Todd. You really don't. And if you take over top rank when Bob Arum decides to turn it over, Top Rank will be out of business in less than 2 years if you don't sell it. And you heard it here first. You heard it here first. If Todd DeBuff take over Top Rank, I'm telling you right now, Top Rank gonna be out of business within a year and a half. I say 2 years. I say 2 years tops. Because Todd DeBuff don't know what the fuck he doing. And to a certain degree, he act like he don't care about boxing anyway. He seemed like he more interested in MMA than he is boxing. He gonna say Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Dude, is you serious? And I mean, Max tried to give him, he tried to give him the branch. He tried to give him the rope to like pull him out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like when you playing tug of war, and he gonna say, like I said, Todd DeBuff don't know what the fuck he doing. He don't know what he doing. And like I said, he gonna run Top Rank into the ground. Might be his plan. Hopefully they let that dude Brad run it. Cause like I said, I actually like some of them people at Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? Evan Corn is cool. I know that some people don't like him. But Evan Corn has always been cool with me. He just, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't like how Evan Corn treated 7-8 Sports. I don't like that. And I'll go on record and say that. I don't like what he did to 7-8 over Fraudachenko. But I'm keeping it 100. Shakara Stevenson probably headed down the same path. I think Todd DeBuff said, oh, then the second biggest fight would be possibly Crawford versus Jose Ramirez. Crawford, when I say Terrence Crawford is going to curb stomp Jose Ramirez, when I say he would curb stomp Jose Ramirez, he would. Crawford beating all of them. He will beat Josh Taylor. He'll knock out Josh Taylor. He'll knock out Jose Ramirez. He gonna beat them all. Yeah, Max, he tried to help Todd DeBuff. And Todd DeBuff, that just goes to show you how they think. This is why people think Top Rank is racist. And then Cameron Duncan didn't help the cause even more by saying that Bob Arum had a black murderers roll list. Don't put him in the ring with this black dude. So I'm saying people saying, well, why do you think Top Rank is racist? Like I said, you hear, hey, Cameron Duncan is a white man. He said this shit. Don't get mad at me. I'm just reporting what he said. He told that shit to Fred. So don't be mad at me. You be mad at the white man. You know what I'm saying? Be mad at the white man. Don't be mad at the brother. I'm just reporting what the man said. He said that shit. And then based off the situation that's happening with Bud, well, they not hurting they not helping their case. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know what I'm saying? It's like a trial, man, for 187, and just all type of evidence is starting to show up. You trying to prove, like I said, if I was a prosecutor and I was in Top Rank was on trial, I would be winning this case going away because they got a terrible paper trail going on. Okay, so like I said, Bob Arum might be in his early stages of dementia or something. Keep in mind the man is 90 years old. Well, Pratt, you may be on to something. You got to admit, let's just keep it a buck. I know you would tell the truth. It's more, I think Bud versus a white dude is more sellable. Bud versus Josh Taylor, just because of his skill set, is a more sellable fight. But Josh Taylor, I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you, all these bandwagon white supremacist Pratt that you know gonna come out of nowhere and become overnight Josh Taylor fans, they gonna get their heart broken as soon as the bell ring. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, Bud gonna stop Josh Taylor if they fight. So all these you know, these overnight Josh Taylor fans that's gonna come out of nowhere, if they do make that fight, they gonna be in for a rude awakening. Cause I'm telling you now, Josh Taylor gonna get his ass beat. And then and then the theme is gonna be, oh well, Josh Taylor wasn't ready for Bud. Well, he was really a 140 fighter, but wait a minute, Bud was a 140 fighter. And then you gonna have the PBC apologists downplay the victory. This one I don't understand. If people are so confident in Errol Spence' skill set versus Bud, then why don't people push for the fight? And I keep asking this question. Nobody won't answer this question. You had a lot of niggas that, like I said, was praying that Bud lost to Kell Brook. You had niggas that was coming on my channel acting like they was cool and they wanted Bud to win, but they was going on other channels saying that they hope Kell Brook knocked Bud out. I was just laughing. And I know who they are. I could bust these clowns out, but I ain't gonna do it. I could smoke them out, but I ain't gonna do it. Well, Pratt, you know what's going on. Like I said, it's gonna be that movie, The Great White Hope Part Two. But they gonna, like I said, Bob Arum is gonna push. When I say Bob Arum is gonna push the envelope with that fight, like I said, you're gonna have all these people come out of nowhere. Oh, Josh Taylor, he's a real threat. He a real threat to Bud. He got the skill set. He has speed. He has skill set. This is gonna be a real challenge. This is gonna be a real challenge. But then you go have these idiots. I'm gonna tell you. I think the pay-per-view numbers might do good. Nobody don't want to see. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I'm keeping it 100. I stand by what I say. I don't want to see no damn Bud versus no Jose Ramirez. I've had it with these black and brown fights. I've had it. Like I said, it's time to get brothers paid now. No offense. Like I said, Bud gonna whoop Josh Taylor's ass. Bud gonna, like I say, Bud is gonna beat the shit out of Josh Taylor if they fight. He gonna whoop his ass. And like I said, the new excuse, it's gonna be some kind of excuse. You gonna see a bunch of niggas making excuses on why Bud won this fight. The problem is Bud is just that damn good. That man is a serious threat to anybody at 147. Any, and I mean any fucking body. Nah, Errol Spence is just trying to. Errol Spence, to me, he just trying to find a way to like keep continuing to fight people on. Like I said, why would you fight Bud if you can fight Danny Garcia? And I get it. I don't like it, when you could fight Danny Garcia, you could revisit Sean, you could revisit Sean Porter, you could fight somebody like Jamal James, you could fight Ugas, you could fight those type of dudes. Then here's the thing, Errol Spence contradicted himself too, but people saying Bud is contradicting himself. Well, why the fuck if Errol Spence so focused on fighting Bud, why the fuck he talking about fucking Canelo? Why he talking about fighting Canelo? That's what I don't know. That's what I don't understand. You supposed to be focusing on Danny Garcia first, and then seeing can you make the Bud fight happen. You talking about fighting Canelo? You talking about fighting Canelo? But then again, who knows? Al Heyman might set Errol Spence up. Nah, Malik, you gonna get. Here's the thing, Malik. People gonna ignore you because you see what's going on. Like I said, I've been seeing what's going on. Like I said, Errol Spence got a complete pass for saying. Like I said, people quick to come making videos about what Bud said. But then Errol Spence was the same nigga that said, I don't mean to call him a nigga. Errol Spence was the same dude to say, well, he told Bud right to his face, oh, I'm gonna take the easy way. I'm gonna take the easy way out. I'm gonna take the easy belt. And like I said, nobody can explain to me why he fought Mikey Garcia. Nobody can explain to me why he chose to fight Mikey Garcia. Let me ask y'all something. Everybody that's listening to this, Pratt, Malik, everybody that's listening, what belt did Mikey Garcia have when Errol Spence fought him? But he say he trying to unify. He trying to become undisputed. What belt did Mikey Garcia have? Al Heyman put him in a stadium. Here's the con. He put him in a stadium in Dallas. He knew Dallas had a big Mexican fan base. He was fighting a Mexican. They showed up. They bought the fight because a lot of delusional Mexicans really thought that Mikey Garcia had a chance of winning that fight. And that was the con. Bingo. And then you trying to falsely sell this dude as some gigantic pay-per-view star. You holler at me when Errol Spence is doing 1,000,000 pay-per-views. And you holler at me when Errol Spence is doing 1,000,000 pay-per-views and he got undercards with anybody else other than Mexican fighters. Then we had you tell me that. And he talking about Bud, is he a bigger star than Bud? You sure about that? You sure about that? Because Bud just did 2 million views. And he did 1 point something. He did 1 point something against the Mean Machine. He did like 1.8. And then before that, he did like 2 million. He had the highest rated fight that year. So how Bud don't have, so how you a bigger fight? Errol Spence, he did, Errol Spence did 6 million views. And that was because he had a fight like when the Olympics was going on. But if you look at Errol Spence in retrospective, Bud is doing better numbers on TV. So how can you say that you a bigger star than Bud? No, you not. That's a fucking lie. But you gonna have, like I said, the PBC nut huggers and the Errol Spence apologists say that shit. And this ain't really no attack on Errol Spence, but I'm just calling it how I see it. I'm calling it right down the middle. Bud doing the same thing to Errol Spence that he doing to him. Well, he said 60-40. Well, I'm gonna say 60-40. How you a bigger star? How you a bigger star than Bud, and Bud then did better ratings on regular TV than you? Dude, you wasted your time. You can't argue, like I said, you can't argue with certain people. They stuck in their ways. They gonna tell you, they gonna be like I said. I don't want to say people, like I say, Blue is my homeboy. Blue is my homeboy. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? Blue is my homeboy. But at the end of the day, he gonna say what he want to say. If that's what he believed, that's what he believed. But like I said, you wasting your time going on those channels because at the end of the day, they don't want, some of these dudes, they just don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. Like I said, why in the fuck would Al Heyman put Bud in the ring with Errol Spence and Bud not a PBC fighter? And Bud fuck around and win that fight. Then it all goes downhill. Because like I said, keep in mind, he tried to make Errol Spence the Floyd Mayweather, the new Floyd Mayweather, but it's predicated on Errol Spence staying undefeated. But like I said, in a couple of weeks, it's going to be tremendous pressure on Errol Spence to stop Danny Garcia. If he stopped Danny Garcia, I will give him full credit. I will be highly impressed. But guess what? If you stop Danny Garcia, the pressure on you to make the Bud fight is going to skyrocket because you're going to have two fighters coming off knockout wins. See, everybody want to talk about this shit that's going on with Bob Arum because, like I said, that's a distraction. That's a distraction. What was they was making excuses before the shit with Bob Arum jumped off. Because like I said, these same niggas that's so supposed to be so confident in Errol Spence, that's supposed to be so confident in Errol Spence. Like I said, if you so confident in Errol Spence and you really wanted to fight with Bud to happen, why the fuck was you rooting for Kell Brook? Why was some of these dudes rooting for Kell Brook to win that fight? Answer that question. I'm gonna pause for 30 seconds. I'm gonna let y'all have the floor for a minute. Once again, I ask this question. If people really wanted to see Errol Spence versus Bud, and they really believed in Errol Spence like they say they was, why was they being turncoats? Why was they hoping Bud lose that fight? So I'm gonna give everybody 30 seconds to put their answer in. No, I'm gonna give y'all a minute. I'm finna pause for a minute. Everybody put their answers in. Answer that question. Tell me what y'all think. Man, come on, y'all. I'm waiting. I got, like I said, I wanted some early morning smoke. Like I said, they say they want this fight to happen so bad, but then they were saying, "Oh, I hope Bud lose." Okay, and another rumor that I'm finna dispel. I don't want to hear no more of that shit that Bud don't talk to black media. That myth is over with. It's a fucking lie. And I'm finna give people some more ether, which really gonna make people look stupid. Which really gonna make these PBC nut huggers look stupid. Which direction should I go for? Okay. Shout out to Ellie Setback. Ellie Setback took a poll on what how you think Bud versus Errol Spence. Most people was saying the fight should be split 50-50. That's something I agree with. Go to Ellie Setback's channel. Last time I checked, shout out to the great Nipsey Hussle. Ellie Setback, a white Jewish man, did a poll saying, do you think Errol Spence should get 60-40? And most people believed at the time, people had said, nah, it should be 50-50. And I believe it should be 50-50. That came from Ellie Setback. But you know, these Al Heyman PBC nut huggers, they'll say that Errol Spence should get a lion's share. Like these dudes, like I said, I don't even like talking to. I think it should be 50-50. Because like I said, Errol Spence ain't fought like world beaters like they make it. I just went down Errol Spence's last few fights. Once again, failed to knock out Sean Porter. And he damn near guaranteed he was gonna stop Sean Porter. Said he was gonna knock Mikey Garcia out. Didn't knock him out. Like I said, a Campo, a nobody. And then a nobody. Adrian Peterson, Lamont Peterson, been stopped by Matisse. Got the shit beat out of him by Tim Bradley. Like I said, so do I need to continue? Danny Garcia. Like I said, the upcoming fight, he got to knock Danny Garcia out. Like I say, Danny Garcia don't have one significant win at 147, and that's fact. But they trying to sell Danny Garcia as some dude that then beat the best of the best at 147. He lost to Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. So, but Bud in 5 fights and Errol Spence been at 147 longer than Bud. Bud then stopped everybody. He fought at 147. And nobody can't dispute that, but they try to downplay it. So I want somebody to tell me where I'm lying at. So I need somebody to tell me, how does that guarantee, why does that resonate to you, supposed to get 60-40? Stop it. 50-50. Stop it. Since everybody want to negotiate, since everybody want to play promoter. Now, let me debunk another myth. I don't want to hear that shit about Bud don't talk to black media no more. Yeah, Lucas Matisse. Like I said, Oakland, man. See, we square biz. We real Oakland cats. We call it down the middle, for real. Name one significant person Danny Garcia beat at 147? What, Robert Guerrero, who been in and out of retirement? You know what I'm saying? What, Paulie Malignaggi? Who haven't beat Paulie Malignaggi? I'm just keeping it 100. Who haven't beat Paulie Malignaggi? Like I said, he ducked the homie Kareem Mayfield out of San Francisco, the Bay Area. And people thought he lost to Herrera, and people thought he lost to Lamont Peterson. So stop it. Danny Garcia should have 4 or 5 losses on this record. Stop it. But they trying to sell. You got these people on here trying to sell this dude, you know what I'm saying, as a world beater. They acted like some of these Errol Spence and PBC apologists acted like Democrats. That you can't politic with me, man. You can't fool me. But for real, before I end this stream, real talk, I appreciate everybody tapping in and shit. But I don't want to hear this shit about Bud not talking to black media. That's dead. Bud then did interviews with black media. He just did an interview with Miss Boxing Baby, who you used to see her on Takashi Alpo's Boxing Nation. Miss Boxing Baby. He did an interview with her. She out of Jersey. And when I say that lady is Miss Boxing Baby, she ain't no joke. When I say she is curvaceous, she is curvaceous. I ain't seen her in a while, but I'm just saying she's stacked like my girl. So I'm just saying, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that Bud don't talk to black media no more. That's dead. I don't want to hear that no more. That's dead. That argument or Bud dog out the only black media and all that kind of stuff. He just did an interview with Miss Boxing Baby yesterday that Ellie posted, and he ignored Ellie. What y'all don't know, I keep telling y'all, just be patient, man. I'm gonna get Bud on here. So what people gonna say when Bud? I wonder what people gonna say when Bud do an interview with me. And y'all know I'm black. I might be light skinned, but I'm black. I got a big ass nose. Both my parents is black. My mother's light skinned. My was dark skinned, and my biological father was dark skinned. Rest in peace, pops. For real. My son is like brown skinned. My son's mother is a dark skinned black lady. So, I mean, what? So what's the excuse gonna be then? What's the excuse gonna be when I get Bud on my show? I'm black. I'm black. For the people that didn't see me. No, I'm glad Bud stood tall and said 60-40. And once again, what do Bud saying 60-40 got to do with him and his relationship with Al Heyman? See how people always try to sidetrack you? I'm just saying. So like I said, if and when I get Bud on my show, what's the excuse gonna be then? Like I said, that Bud don't talk to black media shit. That's dead. I ain't even trying to hear that no more. You could save that. You could save that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that no more. Oh, Bud don't talk to black media. What's the new no for real? What's the new excuse gonna be when he come on my show, or if he go on another black media outlet? Because like I said, people been pushing fake lines about Bud from the start. But like I said, people been pushing these fake narratives from the start. Like I said, at the end of the day, Bud, to a certain degree, he didn't help his case by being I'll just say not transparent enough. But he's starting to talk now. He got to do that. So like I said before, I'm gonna get Bud on here. Like I said, I can't wait till I get it. Get. Keep in mind, I'm getting the interviews. Like I said, I'm not just getting getting boxers on here. I'm getting rappers on here. I'm getting actors on here. I didn't have Faison Love on here. I didn't have Faison Love, who who didn't play the movies with Vince Vaughn and all that type of shit. Got his phone number. I got Spider Loke on here. By the way, y'all need to check out them Spider Loke interviews for real. I'm disappointed. Those videos with Spider Loke, they need to get more views because Spider Loke told the absolute truth about what was going on in Hollywood, the music industry. Y'all need to hear that. Y'all need to hear what he said about Curtis. Y'all need to hear what he said about a lot of people. So y'all need to go check out them interviews. Like I said, people got to stop pushing the goalposts back. They got to stop pushing the goalposts back. They do that too much. Y'all appreciate that, G Brown. Y'all wanted a real authentic interview. Like I said, I don't I'll allow people to be themselves. Spider Loke was worried about, oh, can I say certain things? Nah, man, you can say, look, bro, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Like I said, we don't censor my channel. I don't let people give watered down interviews. If I'm gonna interview you, I'm gonna let you be yourself. I did that groundwork. I didn't. Who else? Let me see. I interviewed Tiffany Haddish. I didn't have Tiffany Haddish. Even though Tiffany Haddish can't act her way out of a paper bag, but she considered an A-list actor. I done interviewed Tiffany Haddish. I done interviewed Flex Alexander. You know what I'm saying? Who for real? I'm just saying. Real talk. I didn't have Wilder on my channel. I interviewed Daryl Chill Mitchell. So who like for real? Ain't nobody got an interview with Tiffany Haddish other than Ellie Setback. Keep in mind, I was the first one that interviewed Freeway Rick, and then all of a sudden, after people saw the interview with Freeway Rick that I did for Takashi Alpo's Boxing Nation, then everybody started to want to interview Freeway Rick. So I'm just saying, I can go down my resume for real. I was one of the first people that interviewed Caleb Plant. I interviewed Caleb Plant back in 2015 when nobody didn't even know who the dude was. Nobody knew who Caleb Plant was at the time. So like I said, I got the resume. I didn't interview Gary Payton. Go check out my interviews on my other channel. I didn't interview Gary Payton. I didn't interview LL Cool J. LL Cool J, one of the greatest rappers that ever lived. LL Cool J, unless you get Ice Cube, and you do, man, for real, unless you get Ice Cube or somebody like that, man, LL Cool J. I interviewed LL Cool J, one of the greatest rappers that ever lived. What you talking about? What you talking about? That interview, I went to the Big Three. I interviewed Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr. Interviewed him. Man, y'all better check my resume for real. Y'all better check my resume. When people do interviews with me, they see I'm a real nigga. For real. Yeah, Malik, go to my other channel, Town Business All Media. It's way back there. I interviewed LL Cool J. You know, I got LL Cool J to speak, even though it was a lot of noise, but I got LL Cool J on my channel. Oh yeah, I had her on there. I had Carissa Shields. Y'all done seen Andre Ward on my channel hella times. Like I said, I got Tiffany Haddish. Like I said, I got Tiffany Haddish. So for real, I don't want to interview Jason Whitlock. I'm the only nigga. Let me show you how solid I am. Hey, Oakland man, who was the only nigga that ran up on Stephen A. Smith? I ran up on that nigga Stephen A. Smith. I had that nigga retreat. Who was the only nigga that ever ran up on Stephen A. Smith? I ran up on Stephen A. Smith like a G. I kept my word. I said if I ever see that nigga, I'm gonna pull up on that nigga. And he ran off. Everybody seen that shit. This some real Oakland shit right here. I was the only one that ran up. I wasn't kissing Stephen A. Smith ass for what? All that shit he was doing. I ran up on Stephen A. Smith. I'm the reason Stephen A. Smith got security now. I'm the reason why Stephen A. Smith traveled with security, because I ran up on him. I caught him slipping. And shout out to my boy the body snatcher. He spotted Stephen A. Smith before anybody else did. And I told people I was gonna run up on that nigga. And I ran up on him. I had that dude in retreat mode. So like I said, I got the resume. I does this. Yeah, like I said, man. Like I said, man. I unlike a lot of these people, I really unlike DJ Federale, you know, that dude that be exploiting black people. I'm really from Oakland. Like I said, I was born at Highland Hospital on 14th Ave. 14th Ave and I think East 29th. I was born at Highland Hospital. For real. I went to, you know what I'm saying? I went to Fremont High. Man, real talk. I'm really from Oakland. All right, y'all. I gotta end this stream because my phone finna die. But thanks for tapping in. Appreciate everybody, the loyal, the faithful. But for real, I'm gonna keep spitting this real shit. I ain't worried about nobody being upset. I ain't worried about nobody, having an issue with me. It's like this. If you can't tolerate what I'm saying, don't bring your ass on here. This your boy Town Biz. Oakland stand up. Yeah, area. I'm out.